LG OLED C5, and I've got a standard fixed wall bracket. Nice and simple one, nothing too fancy or expensive. I don't think you need them when you're just going for a fixed bracket. If you're going for an arm bracket, maybe go a bit more premium. So we're going to attach two arms to the back, there and there. This plate onto the wall, and then the arms will simply just hook on the plate. And you've also got a windy up screw. So you wind that screw up and it stops you taking the TV off or knocking it off by accident, which would be pretty hard, but it's just there to secure it. With these brackets you get a screw pack with various different bolts and screws and washers as well. And all I've taken out here are some, I think they're about 12mm M6 bolts, washers on each of them. So I'm going to pick a hole there for my bolt to go through, wind it into the top one, and top tip I always do on the same as all my other OLED videos, pull the slack up and just nip that bolt up there. The reason being, if you've got that slack and you don't mount them both with it up, your TV is going to be wonky when you put it up. So quickly wind one into the bottom as well. Same for this side. So again, bolt through there, wind it in, and you can just see how much slack's on that arm. So if I was to put the slack down, nip it up, it could potentially still move and the TV could slide down marginally or make it wonky. So pull that slack up, nip that bolt tight. Same for this one. And that is it, ready. So all I've got to do now, put the plate in and measure. So if we mark on the wall where we want it, the centre line of the TV, and where we want the top of the TV, or you could do it from the bottom, but for this one it's going to be easier to measure down from the top. So if I hold the bracket here, tape on the top, and just measure down there, I've got it at 275mm or 27.5 centimetres from the top of the TV to the top of my bracket. I've got to make a mark 27.5 centimetres down, which is there. I'm just going to extend that with the spirit level. Okay, and I've got a centre mark on the wall where I want the centre of the TV to be. So I'm just going to extend that centre line there. Okay, so top of the TV, 27.5 centimetres down, ignore 32, that's a previous video. 27.5 cm down to the top of my bracket. If I pop my bracket there, line it up with the top of that line, and one thing I like to do, which is probably pretty obvious, put a spirit level on the top, okay, and I'm going to mark 4 slots. So many marks on there, I don't even know which ones they are. No joking, I do. So it's that one, that one, that. Okay, 4 slots there. I've got a wooden wall here with studs behind it, so I can pilot drill, wind and screw straight in. If you're on a brick wall or you've got plasterboard and breeze block, I'd suggest the concrete screws. You drill a 6mm hole, wind the screw in, it cuts a thread into the block work, no plug required, you can't pull it back out. That's what I use anyway for most masonry applications, but for wood I've got a pilot drill, so I'm just going to pilot drill those holes. 4 wood screws with washers on, so I'm just going to wind the first one in. Now I've done it loose so I can still move the bracket. Idea in that being, I can put my spirit level on the top, level my bracket up again, then can wind my other screw in and just check it again. And if you have a bracket with the bubble built in, don't trust it, put a spirit level on it anyway, because I quite often find them to be quite inaccurate. Okay, so 2 screws nipped up. I'm just going to check again with my spirit level. And I'd say that's slightly off, so I'm just going to adjust it. Yeah, that looks good to me. So nice and level, I can just wind my 2 remaining screws straight in. That is that, ready for the TV. My TV is installed on its pedestal base, so all I've got to do is remove this plastic flap first, just sort of wiggle it out from the bottom. There we go, and then I've got the 4 machine screws to remove. And I mean, I know those tabs are going to hold it, but if you're not sure, get someone to stand on the side of the TV, because obviously once you remove these screws there's nothing holding it apart from 2 little tiny plastic tabs there. I'm going to have faith in them. I am just going to put my hand at the top there as I wind out the last one, just to make sure it's not going to tip. There we go. And then with the TV, I've got my hands at the sides of it. It's quite easy to lift it there as well. But what we do is kind of tilt it back and then lift it off. So I've got the TV. I've got one hand underneath, no pressure pressing on the screen. I've just got my hand literally like a little ledge for the TV to sit on. It's easier with 2 people, but you've got to lift it over, hook it onto that bracket, and you've got to be really careful. If you've got a person either side, you can look down the sides of the TV and check that you're on that rail there. So I just lift it up like so, go above, slide it down, and that is it on. And I know because I can slide it to its extremities. I can also give it a little pull, but I like to give it a slide side to side, make sure I'm on those rails before I let go, because if it's not on, you smash the new TV. That is it. So that TV is 46mm. It's not the closest fitting bracket. At a different day I'm going to try one of these on a slim fit bracket, see how tight I can get it to the wall, because nicely on these the connections go to the side. But just out of interest, that's about 67mm from the wall to the front of the TV, so not too bad. Just for comparison, I've got the Samsung S90 there on a slim fit bracket, and I've got that as tight as 45mm away from the wall to the front of the TV. So I could possibly get that 20mm closer, but that's for another day. Cables are all in, got it connected to wired internet, aerial mains, HDMI to my Sky Q box, so should have a nice immaculate screen underneath this film cover. So peely peely, get it removed.